That was the Prime Minister's address. There is no address in English just yet. Last time he spoke both in Hindi and in English. We're seeing if there will be another address. But so far he's spoken for about 43 minutes. He's spoken on a whole host of issues. Let me first and foremost take our viewers through what he said. So let's take the highlights first. He says historians and sociologists should also analyze what India has been through since the 8th of November, not just economists. He's again asked for simultaneous elections, saying there must be a constructive debate around holding all elections at the same time. He's also urged Netas not to think that they are holier than thou, saying they need to work towards removing corruption in election funding. He's also said that all political parties need to understand the anger of citizens when it comes to funding. He's announced schemes for senior citizens for 10 years up to 7.5 lakh rupees for deposits up to 7.5 lakh rupees. Senior citizens will have interest rates capped at 8%. All pregnant women will get 6,000 rupees in their bank accounts in an attempt to reduce child and woman mortality. A lot of what Arun Jaitley may have liked to say in his budget has actually already been said by the Prime Minister. He's also said that if a trader has business of more than 2 crore rupees, then the tax calculation through digital payments will be done at a rate of 6%, not 8%. He's also spoken of loans from NBFCs being covered under a new scheme to encourage small and medium enterprises. He says the credit guarantee given by the government to small and medium enterprises has been increased to 2 crore rupees. The government will underwrite the loss that NABARD has to bear. 3 crore Kisan credit cards will be converted into RuPay cards. The government will bear interest of farmers who've taken loans from district and cooperative banks for the last 60 days, says the Prime Minister. He says Rabi sowing is up, fertilizer consumption is up 9%, indicating that farmers are not in distress in the way that some people have suggested that they are. He's also saying we want to encourage poor people to buy houses. Under the Prime Minister's Awas Yojana, 2 new schemes have been announced. For loans that are up to 9 lakh rupees, the level of interest, the interest rate will be 4% less than usual. So I want to bring in now reactions, starting with Raj Chingappa, your sense on the reaction. And also, I'm told that we've got Salman Khurshid for the first reaction from the Congress party. Let's listen to what Salman Khurshid is telling my colleague Supriya Bhardwaj.
I've been joined by Mr. Salman Khurshid. And Mr. Khurshid, sir, what's your take on the entire speech which the Prime Minister has given today?
Well, I feel particularly sorry for Mr. Arun Jaitley because he has an early budget speech this year, the coming year. The budget day having been advanced, and everything that a finance minister could possibly hope to say in a good budget speech, everything is being said by the Prime Minister. Now, of course, what happens in a budget speech is that when you say this is what we are going to do and this is how we will spend, you also say this is how we will earn and this is how we will bring the resources to do whatever we are promising to do. The President's speech doesn't indicate at all where the money will come from. If he thinks that the money that has come into the banks because of demonetization is money that people will want to leave in the banks, then he's being overtly optimistic, because people may want to take that money out and use it usefully for their own purposes. This is not money that's been lent to the government. It's not money that the government has acquired. So how he expects to do whatever little bit he has done, it's basically tweaking and giving somebody an extra 50%, somebody an extra 20%. So it's really tweaking like a budget tweaking happens. But let's see. Normally when you announce something in a budget of this kind, it takes a whole year before you can even allow that benefit to reach individuals, because this money doesn't go directly from the central government. It has to then, through some schemes, go to the state governments, and through the state governments then be implemented. And I don't think that he had shown any concern for that at all.
People were hoping that there will be something which the Prime Minister will say as far as withdrawal limit is concerned. Nothing about that. But on the other hand, there are many schemes which have been Prime Minister has announced.
Khurshid, they're
especially-
cutting away because the Prime Minister is now addressing the nation in English. Let's listen to what Prime Minister Modi is saying.
People and the government are on the same side in this battle against evil. The government is well aware that in this period you had to queue up and face difficulty in withdrawing your own money. I received letters from many people. They have shared their pain and sorrow with me. दम भी पीछे नहीं रहना चाहते हैं। साइज दर्शक आपका ये You have talked to me as one of your own. In this fight against corruption and black money, it is clear that you wish to walk shoulder to shoulder with us. For us in government, this is a blessing. My effort is to take the banking system to normalcy as fast as possible in the new year. I have asked all concerned officers in the government to focus their attention to this task. They have especially been told to proactively resolve the problems in rural and remote areas. Friends, there is no precedent globally to what India has done. Nations similar to us do not have the amount of currency that we had. Over the last 10 to 12 years, 500 and 1000 rupees currency notes were used less for legitimate transactions and more for parallel economy. The excess of cash was fueling inflation and black marketing. It was denying the poor their due. Lack of cash causes difficulty, but excess of cash is even more troublesome. Our aim is to achieve a balance. Economists agree that when cash is outside the formal economy, it is a cause of worry. When it joins the mainstream, it is an opportunity for development. I'm sure if great sons of India like Jayaprakash Narayan, Lal Bahadur Shastri, Ram Manohar Lohia, Kamaraj ji had been present today, they would have applauded the patience, discipline and resolve of our countrymen. In the past few weeks, there have been many gratifying instances. It would take weeks to list them. It is a healthy trend for any nation when the people wish to join the mainstream, abiding by the law and helping the government in serving the poor. Friends, how long will we overlook facts that stare us in the face? I wish to share some information with you, which will either make you laugh or make you angry. According to information with the government, there are only 24 lakh people in India who accept that their annual income is more than 10 lakhs rupees. Can we digest this? Look at the big bungalows and big cars around you. If we look at any big city, it would have lakhs of people with annual income of more than 10 lakh. Do you not feel that for the good of the country, this movement for honesty need to be further strengthened? In this fight against corruption and black money, it is natural to debate the fate of the dishonest. What punishment will they get? The law will take its own course with its full force. But the priority of the government now is how to help the honest, protect them, and ease their difficulty. How can honesty gain more prestige? This government is a friend of good people, and it aims to build an enabling environment for the dishonest to return to the path of goodness. It is also a bitter truth that people have complaints of bad experiences at the hands of government machinery and some government officers. This reality cannot be wished away. No one can deny that government officers have a greater responsibility than common citizens. Therefore, it is the responsibility of all of us in the government at central, state, and local levels to protect the common man, help the honest, and isolate the dishonest. Friends, it is accepted the world over that terrorism, Naxalism, Maoism, counterfeit currency trade, drug trade, human trafficking, all of this depend on black money. These evils have become a festering sore on society and governments. Demonetization has dealt a severe blow to these trades. Today, youth who had turned to the wrong path are returning to the mainstream in large numbers. If we remain vigilant, we can now save our children from returning to those evil ways of violence and cruelty. The fact that so much of the cash in circulation has been deposited in the banking system the last few days indicates routes for the dishonest have all been sealed. Technology has played a big role. The habitual offenders will be forced to abandon their misdeeds and join the mainstream. Friends, this also represents a golden opportunity for the country's banking system. During this period, bank employees have worked day and night. Female employees too work till late hours as part of this mission. Post office staff, banking correspondents, all did exceptional work. Amid this Herculean effort, some grave crimes by some officers in some banks have come to light. Some government officers have also committed serious offenses and tried to take advantage of the situation. They will not be spared. At this historic juncture, I wish to make an appeal to the banks. History is witness that the Indian banking system had never received such a large amount of money in such a short time. While respecting the autonomy of the banks, I appeal to them to move beyond their traditional priorities and keep the poor, the lower middle class, and the middle class at the focus of their activities. India is celebrating the centenary of Pandit Dindayal Upadhyay as Garib Kalyan Varsh. Banks should also not let this opportunity slip. They should take appropriate decisions in public interest promptly. When policies and programs are made with clear objectives in mind, not only are beneficiaries empowered, but both short-term and long-term benefits are achieved. Spending is carefully scrutinized and chances of good results are maximized. The more the villages, the poor, the farmers, the Dalits, the tribals, the marginalized, the oppressed, the deprived, and women are empowered and financially enabled to stand on their own feet, the stronger the country will become and the faster will be the pace of development. Friends, to further the principle of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, on the eve of the new year, government is bringing some new programs for the people. Even so many years after independence, millions of poor do not have their own home. When black money increased in our economy, houses became out of reach of even the middle class. The government has taken some major decisions to ensure homes for the poor, the neo middle class, and the middle class. Two new middle income categories have been created under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana in urban areas. Loans of up to 9 lakh rupees taken in 2017 will receive interest subvention of 4%. Loans of up to 12 lakh rupees taken in 2017 will receive interest subvention of 3%. The number of housing being built for the poor under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana in rural areas is being increased by 33%. In addition to this, another scheme is being put in place for the neo middle and middle class in rural areas. Loans of up to 2 lakh rupees taken in 2017 for new housing or extension of housing in rural areas will receive an interest subvention of 3%. Friends, in the last few weeks, an impression was sought to be created that the agriculture sector has been destroyed. Farmers themselves have given a fitting reply to those who were doing so. Rabi sowing is up by 6% compared to last year. Fertilizer uptake is up by 9% during this period. The government has taken care to ensure that farmers do not suffer for want of access to seeds, fertilizers, and credit. Now we have taken some more decisions in the interest of farmers. Farmers who have taken loans for the Rabi crop from district cooperative central banks and primary societies will not have to pay interest on such loans for a period of 60 days. Farmers who have paid interest during the last 2 months will receive these amounts back directly into their bank accounts. Arrangements are being made to provide farmers even better access to loans from cooperative banks and societies. NABARD created a fund of 21,000 crore rupees last month. Now, government is adding 20,000 crore rupees more to this. The loss that NABARD suffered by giving loans to cooperative banks and societies at low interest rates shall be borne by the government of India. The government has decided that 3 crore farmers who have Kisan credit cards will be given RuPay debit cards within 3 months. Kisan credit cards were launched in 1998, but so far it was essential to go to a bank to use them. Now farmers will have RuPay debit cards which they can use anywhere. Just as agriculture is vital for the economy, so are the medium and small scale enterprise, also called the MSME sector. Government has taken some decisions in the interest of small and medium businesses, which will also boost employment. Government of India underwrites loans given by banks to small businesses through a trust. So far, loans were covered up to 1 crore rupees. This limit is now being enhanced to 2 crore rupees. Earlier, the scheme only covered bank loans. Hereafter, it will cover loans given by NBFCs as well. The decision will enable better access to credit for small shop owners and small enterprises. Banks and NBFCs will not levy high interest on these loans as Government of India is bearing the cost of underwriting them. Government has also asked banks to raise the credit limit for small industry from 20% of turnover to 25%. Banks have also been asked to increase working capital loans from 20% of turnover to 30% for enterprises that transact digitally. Many people connected with this sector have made cash deposits in the last few weeks. Banks have been asked to take this into account when deciding on working capital. A few days back, government announced a major tax relief for small businesses. income of businesses with turnover of up to rupees 2 crores was calculated at 8% of the turnover. Now, for such businesses, income from digital transactions will be calculated at only 6%. This will effectively reduce the tax liability by 25%. Friends, the progress of the Mudra Yojana has been very, very encouraging. Last year, nearly 3.5 crore people have been benefited from this. The government now aims to double this, giving priority to Dalits, tribals, backward classes, and women. A new scheme is being launched for pregnant women. We are introducing a nationwide scheme for financial assistance to pregnant women. 6,000 rupees will be transferred directly to the bank accounts of pregnant women who undergo institutional delivery and vaccinate their children. This scheme will help reduce the maternal mortality rate in a big way. This will help ensure nutrition before and after delivery and improving the health of mother and child. So far, pregnant women in 53 districts were being given financial assistance of 4,000 rupees under a pilot project. We are initiating a scheme for senior citizens. Banks often reduce their deposit rates when they receive a large volume of money. This should not adversely impact senior citizens. Under the scheme, senior citizens will receive a fixed interest rate of 8% for a period of 10 years on deposits up to 7.5 lakhs rupees. The interest will be paid monthly. Friends, political parties, political leaders, and electoral funding figure prominently in any debate on corruption and black money. The time has now come that all political leaders and parties respect the feelings of the nation's honest citizens and understand the anger of the people. It is true that from time to time, political parties have made constructive efforts to improve the system. I urge all parties and leaders to move away from a holier than thou approach to come together in prioritizing transparency and take firm steps to free politics of black money and corruption. In our country, people ranging from common man to the president have at some point or other advocated simultaneous conduct of state and national elections. This is to break the endless cycle of elections, reduce election expenditure, and minimize pressure on the administrative machinery. The time has come for this to be seriously considered and debated. Positive change has always found space in our country. We can now see a positive momentum toward digital transaction in India. More and more people are transacting digitally. Yesterday, government has launched a new Swadeshi platform for digital transactions named BHIM after Babasaheb Bhimrao Ambedkar. BHIM stands for Bharat Interface for Money. I call upon the youth, the trading community and farmers to connect with BHIM as much as possible. Friends, the developments, decisions and policies that were put in place after Diwali will of course be evaluated by economists. It will be good if social scientists and historians also do the same. As a nation, India's villages, poor, farmers, youth, educated, uneducated, men and women have all displayed infinite patience and people power. In a short time, the new year of 2017 will begin. Exactly 100 years ago, in 1917, Mahatma Gandhi initiated a satyagraha in Champaran. Now, a century later, we witness that the people of India continue to share that feeling towards truth and goodness. Today, Mahatma Gandhi is not amongst us, but the path towards truth that he showed us is still most appropriate. As we begin the centenary year of the Satyagraha, let us recall the Mahatma and resolve to follow his message of truth and goodness. We cannot allow this fight against black money and corruption to stop or slow down. Firmness in truth is a guarantee for success. Our country of 125 crore, with 65% below the age of 35, having the means, the resources, and the capability, has no reason to stay behind. The new dawn of the new year comes with the resolve of new success. Let us all come together to move ahead, overcoming obstacles and constraints. Thank you. Happy New Year. Jai Hind.
The small and medium enterprises, a push also for farmers. How much of this is really good for you who are watching, and how much of this is essentially bits from a budget speech which Jet Li could have given in the first week of February? We'll talk about